Hello, hi, this is MSR Master. Today we'll discuss about one topic that is related to the class 9th. The lesson name is plasma membrane. So if you take plasma membrane, it is a important cell organelle in the cell. So in the first lesson, already we discussed about cell structure and functions. If you take plant cell or if you take an animal cell, so in the plant cell and animal cell, so cell membrane is a common feature we observed in both plant cell and animal cell. So if you take animal cell, so in the animal cell, the outermost layer is plasma membrane. In the plant cell, below the cell wall, the membrane is called as plasma membrane. So plasma membrane, it is a common feature, or it is present in both plant cell and animal cell. So here in this lesson we'll discuss about structure and functions of plasma membrane. If you take plasma membrane, it is helpful for plasma membrane. Or if you take animal cell, so in the animal cell, what is the outermost layer? In the animal cell, the outermost layer is plasma membrane. So here some substances which enter inside the cell through plasma membrane, some substances which exit out through plasma membrane. So for allowing substances inside the cell, for allowing substances outside the cell, plasma membrane is important. Plasma membrane is very important for entry or for exit of substances. So if you take living organisms, in the living organisms, all the living organisms body is made up of with cells. So while going metabolic activities, different substances, it enters inside the cell and also outside the cell. Now we will discuss about one activity related to the plasma membrane. Right, here if you take activity 1, so in this activity 1 we will discuss about which substances go into the cell and go out of the cell. Right, here go in and go out of the cell. So here one tabular form is there. So in that tabular form we'll discuss about substances, entry of substances and exit of substances. So now first we'll take serial number, name of the substances, after that should go into the cell. Which substances should go into the cell? Should go in. Should go out. Which substances should go out? Should go out. Yes, so serial number, name of the substances, should go into the cell and should go out of the cell. So first substance, carbohydrate. First substance name is carbohydrate. Second substance will take proteins. Carbohydrate after will take proteins. Proteins after will take fats. Fats after will take vitamins also. Right, vitamins. Okay, vitamins after will take another substances like oxygen also. Next carbon dioxide. Next one more substance is there, that is water is also is there. Right, water after will take other substance, that is what wastage also we are taking here. So these are the substances which enter inside the cell and which enter outside the cell. Now we will see which substances are entering inside the cell, which substances are going outside the cell. First we will take carbohydrate. So if you take carbohydrates, so in that carbohydrates, which is the important substance in the carbohydrate, glucose is the important substance in the carbohydrate. So carbohydrate, is it needed for our body? Yes, carbohydrate, it is needed for our body. So if it is needed compulsory, it enters inside the cell or outside the cell? Yes, it enters inside the cell. It is needed, that is why it enters inside the cell. It is not going outside. Next, if you take proteins, proteins are needed or not? Yes, proteins are also needed. So that is why proteins are also enters inside the cell. It should not go out of the cell. Right. If you take fats, fats are needed or not? Yes, fats are also needed. So fats are also enters inside the cell. It should not go out the cell. Next, if you take vitamins, vitamins are needed or not? Yes, vitamins are also needed. So that is why it should go into the cell. It should go into the cell. Right. Next, if you take oxygen, oxygen, is it needed or not? Yes, oxygen, it is needed for our cellular respiration. So that is why compulsory oxygen, it enters inside the cell. It enters inside the cell. That is why what we can say, oxygen should go into the cell. It should not go out the cell. Right. If you take carbon dioxide is needed or not? Carbon dioxide is not needed. Yes, we exhale the carbon dioxide in the form of exhaled air. So that is why it is not needed. So that if you take carbon dioxide, it should not go into the cell. It should not go into the cell. It should go out the cell. Right. If you take water, water is needed. Water is needed for our body. So that is why it should be enter inside the cell. It should not go out the cell. Right. If you take wastage, so wastages, so due to the different metabolic activities in our body, what is happening? Yes, waste materials are formed. So if the waste materials are formed, these waste materials compulsory we should exit, or these waste materials compulsory it should be removed from our cell. That is why the waste materials are not entering inside the cell. That waste materials are going outside the cell, or the waste materials are exit outside the cell. So here, if you observe this table, so what information we can get by the observation of this table? So here, if you take should go into the cell, which substances should go into the cell? See here, carbohydrates, it enters into the cell. Proteins, it enters into the cell. Fats, it enters into the cell. Vitamins also, it enters into the cell. Oxygen is also entering inside the cell, and water also entering inside the cell. So here, whatever the substances needed for our body, that substances it should enter inside the cell. Right. Here, if you take should go out the cell. So in this column, what we observed, he see here, yes, if you take which substance is there here? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, it is not needed for our body. So that is why carbon dioxide, it should go out of the cell. Next, one more, wastage. So wastage, it is not needed. So wastage, it causes for a problem for our body. That is why it should be go out the cell. See here, based on the observation of this table, we can say whatever the substances are needed for our body, that substances, it enters inside the cell. Whatever the substances are not needed, carbon dioxide and wastage, these two are not needed for our body. That is why what is happening here, these two substances are exit from the body. So for allowing inside the cell, for exit outside the cell, compulsory these substances are passing through the plasma membrane. So here in this lesson we'll discuss about the functions of plasma membrane. So for finding the function of plasma membrane, compulsory we need to do some activities, or we need to perform some activities. So before performing activities, we need to prepare some solutions. Now we will prepare some solutions. Right. Here, if you take solution, what is the meaning for solution? Solution means what? Yes, if you take solution means what? Solution. Yes, what is the meaning for solution? Solution means we can say it is a solution, it is equal to what we can say, solvent plus solute we called as solution. So solvent plus solute we called as solution. Yes, in our daily life, yes, sometimes we can prepare lemonade. For preparing lemonade, what we required? Water we required, sugar we required, and also lemon. So for preparing sugar solution, what we required? For preparing sugar solution, yes, for preparing a sugar solution. So for preparing sugar solution, compulsory what we required? We required solvent and solute. So here in the sugar solution, we are taking, or for preparing sugar solution, we are taking water. Yes, water we are taking. Next, for the water, what we are adding? Sugar we are adding. Here, for the preparation of sugar solution, we are using sugar, or we are using sugar with water. So here, sugar we can say it is a solute, and water we can say solvent. So water we called as what? Water it is called as universal solvent. So it is very important for competitive exams, right? So here how we can get sugar solution? Means simply by the adding of water to the sugar, or sugar we are adding to the water, then we can get a sugar solution. So for performing the different activities, or for performing different activities, compulsory we need to prepare sugar solution. Along with the sugar solution, we can prepare another solution. It is called as a saturated sugar solution. We need to prepare saturated sugar solution. So how can we prepare saturated sugar solution? Now we'll see here. Yes, saturated sugar solution. So how can we prepare saturated sugar solution? So here we are preparing sugar solution. Now in the second time, or in the second activity, what we can prepare, or in the second situation, what we are preparing here, saturated sugar solution. So for preparing saturated sugar solution, what materials are needed? So for the preparation of saturated sugar solution, we are taking one beaker. Yes, we are taking one beaker. Yes, in that beaker, we are taking how much water? We are taking? Yes, we are taking 100 ml of water. We are taking 100 ml of water in a beaker. Yes, how much water we are taking? 100 ml of water we are taking in a beaker. Then we are adding. Yes, 1 tsp of sugar. 1 tsp of sugar we are adding. Yes, 1 tsp of sugar we are adding for the 100 ml of water. Then we are stirring with a glass rod. Yes, after some time, what is happening? The sugar is dissolved in the water. Then again we are adding one more tsp of sugar. Yes, one more tsp of sugar we are adding to the 100 ml of water. Then again we are stirring with a glass rod, or we are stirring with a spoon. After that, after stirring, what is happening? The 2 spoons of sugar, it dissolves in the water. Then again we are adding one more tsp of sugar. We are adding to the water. So how many spoons of sugar we are adding to this? Yes, 3 spoons of sugar we are adding to the water. So whenever we are adding the third spoon of sugar, at the time, most of the sugar it dissolves in the water. Only a little quantity of sugar it is left at the bottom of beaker. Yes, only a little sugar left at the bottom of beaker. In this situation, what we can say, it is called as saturated solution. So first spoon we are adding, at the time the entire sugar is dissolved in the water. Yes, second spoon we are adding, at the time also the entire sugar it is dissolved in the water. So whenever we are adding the third spoon of sugar, at the time most of the sugar it dissolves in the water, only a little quantity of sugar left at the bottom of beaker. So at the time, what do you call this solution, or what do you call this sugar solution? Means this sugar solution we call as a saturated sugar solution. Okay, so this condition, what we can say, this condition is called as saturated sugar solution. Yes, in our daily life, sometimes we are going to the functions. So whenever we are going to the functions, at the time, yes, in the functions, what is happening? Yes, they are preparing different variety of food items. So whenever they are preparing variety of food items, what we are doing? Yes, we are taking, or we are eating. Yes, first plate we are eating. Yes, then we are going to the second time. Second time also we are eating. After second time, again we are going to the third time. At the time, half of the plate we ate the food. The remaining half, we are not ready to take food. Yes, our brain is saying, or our sense is saying, yes, I am unable to take food likewise. So at the time, what do you call that condition? Means that condition we called as saturated condition. So did you observe that saturated condition in your life? Yes, most of the members, they are getting saturated conditions in the functions. So same like that here. First spoon it dissolves in the water. Second spoon it dissolves in the water. Whenever we are adding the third spoon of sugar, yes, most of the sugar it dissolves in the water. Only a little quantity of sugar it is left at the bottom of beaker. That sugar solution, what we can say, it is called as a saturated sugar solution. Yes, after preparing saturated sugar solution, we need to make concentrated sugar solution again. We need to make what, ma? Yes, we need to make a concentrated sugar solution. So how can we make concentrated sugar solution? How can we make a concentrated sugar solution? Right. So now we are preparing a concentrated sugar solution. So for preparing concentrated sugar solution, yes, we need to take 3 beakers. Yes, how many beakers we need to take? Yes, for preparing concentrated sugar solution, how many beakers we are taking? Yes, 3 beakers we are taking. Yes, for preparing concentrated sugar solution, we are taking 3 beakers. We are taking how many beakers? 3 beakers. Yes, the first beaker, this is the first beaker. Yes, beaker 1. It is called as beaker 1. So in that beaker 1, how much water we are taking? Yes, we are taking 100 ml of water we are taking in beaker 1. Yes, 100 ml of water we are taking in beaker 1. Yes, in beaker 2 we are taking 100 ml of water. Yes, in beaker 3 we are taking, in beaker 3. Yes, in beaker 3, how much water we are taking? In beaker 3 we are taking 100 ml of water. Yes, in beaker 3 also we are taking 100 ml of water. So for preparing concentrated solution, how many beakers we are taking? Yes, we are taking 3 beakers. In that 3 beakers we are taking 100 ml of water, 100 ml of water, 100 ml of water. Right? So in beaker 1, for beaker 1 we are adding sugar. For beaker 1 we are adding half TSP of sugar. Half TSP of sugar we are adding to the beaker 1. So for beaker 2 we are adding 1 TSP of sugar. 1 TSP of sugar we are adding to the beaker 2. So for beaker 3 we are adding 1/2. How much? 1/2 TSP of sugar we are adding to the beaker 3. After adding sugar for beaker 1 and for beaker 2 and for beaker 3 and for beaker 3. So for beaker 3 we are adding 1/2 TSP of sugar. After adding sugar, what is happening? Yes, the sugar dissolves in the, yes or no? The sugar dissolves in the beakers. Yes, in the beaker 1, beaker 2 and beaker 3 the sugar dissolved. After dissolving, yes, we need to observe the concentration of sugar solution in beaker 1 and beaker 2 and beaker 3. So if you compare, yes, if you approximately what we can say, right, half TSP means Yes, half TSP it contains how much sugar means simply we can say 10 grams. But here it is having how much 10 grams, 1 TSP, that is why 20 grams of sugar. Approximately we are saying 20 grams. Next here for beaker 3, 1.5 TSP means what here 30 grams. So 30 grams of sugar we added. Okay. So if you compare the concentration of sugar solution in beaker 1 and beaker 2 and beaker 3 and beaker 3. So here which beaker is having more concentration? Yes, beaker 1 or beaker 3? Yes, beaker 3 it is having more concentration. Why? Because how much sugar we added to the beaker 3? Yes, for beaker 3 we added 30 grams of sugar. That is why it is having more concentration. If you take beaker 1, in beaker 1, how much sugar we added? Approximately we can say 10 grams. That is why it is having less concentration. That is why it is having less concentration. So if you compare these three beakers, yes, beaker 3 is having more concentration. Beaker 3 is having more concentration. Next, beaker 1 is having less concentration. Now here, we need to do one thing. Yes, what we need to do? Here, if you take beaker 1, how can you convert beaker 1 into beaker 3? Now see here, if you take beaker 1 sugar solution, how can you convert the beaker 1 sugar solution into beaker 3 sugar solution? So how can you convert the beaker 1 sugar solution concentration into beaker 3 sugar solution concentration? So here beaker 1 sugar solution concentration 10 grams only, but here beaker 3 sugar solution concentration is 30 grams. How can you convert this sugar solution concentration into this? Means for this what we need to do? We need to add what 1 TSP of sugar. Yes, whenever you add sugar or whenever you add 1 TSP of sugar to the beaker 1, at the time what is happening? Yes, this sugar solution we can convert into beaker 3 sugar solution. Yes or no? Right. Here one more question. If you take beaker 3, yes, how can you convert the concentration of sugar solution in beaker 3 into beaker 1 concentration of sugar solution? For this, what we need to do? We need to add water. How much water we need to add? So here, how much water we need to add? So here total 30 grams concentration is there. Here only 10 grams is there. Okay, so for getting 10 grams, how much water we need to add? Here for this compulsory we need to add 200 ml of water. So when you add 200 ml of water to the beaker 3, at the time this sugar solution concentration we can convert into beaker 1 sugar solution concentration. So likewise we can make concentrated sugar solution. So here in this lesson we need to perform some activities. So for performing these activities we need to prepare sugar solution and also saturated sugar solution and also concentrated sugar solution. So after preparing these all solutions, we need to perform some activities. Now we'll discuss about lab activity 1. So if you take lab activity 1, so what is the aim of the lab activity 1? See here, to observe the material in different solutions. So for doing this activity we need to take different solutions. So here if you took the materials, so what materials are required for doing this activity? See here, how many beakers we required? Yes, here we required 2 beakers. How many beakers? 2 beakers we required. Next, we required tap water also. Yes, for this activity we required tap water. Yes, tap water we required. Next sugar we required. Sugar also we required. Sugar. Next, and also we required one material. It is what? Dry resin. What we required? Dry resin we required. Dry resin means we can say what? Dry grapes or kismis. Dry grapes or kismis. So these are the materials required for doing this activity. Yes, now we'll discuss about few procedure. Yes, if you take procedure. Yes, if you take a procedure. Yes, in this procedure, first we are taking 2 beakers. Yes, we are taking 2 beakers. Yes, in that 2 beakers, and beaker 1 and beaker 2. So in the beaker 1 we are taking 100 ml of water. So in the beaker 2 we are taking 100 ml of saturated sugar solution. Okay, likewise. So in beaker 1 what we are taking? Yes, 100 ml of tap water. Yes, in beaker 2 what we are taking? Yes, 100 ml of saturated sugar solution we are taking. After taking if you observe the concentration of swollen resin and sugar solution, swollen resin, it has a low concentration. Swollen resin, it has low concentration. Saturated sugar solution, it has a high concentration. Saturated sugar solution, it is having high concentration. So sugar solution, it is having high concentration, and swollen resin having low concentration. That is why the water which is in the swollen resin come out from low concentration to high concentration. So in that 2 figures, or in that 2 beakers, what we observe, water moves from low concentration to high concentration. Low concentration to high concentration. So if the movement of water molecules move from low concentration to high concentration, it is called as a osmosis. What we can say? It is called as osmosis. So in beaker 1 and beaker 2, what we observe? Yes, in the beaker 1 and beaker 2, what we observe? The water is moving from low concentration to high concentration. That is why, what do you call this process? The process name is osmosis. The process name is osmosis. So if you take the osmosis process takes place by the which organelle in the dry resin? Yes, osmosis takes place by the plasma membrane. So plasma membrane, which is helpful for allowing the substances inside the resin or exit the substance outside the resin. Based on this, what we can say, for allowing substances inside or outside, compulsory the substances are passing through the plasma membrane.